Ladies and gentlemen, good friends all, I am Robert Allen Hill, the Dean of Marsh Chapel at Boston University. It is my privilege to welcome you this evening. We are gathered as a community tonight in mourning the loss of our loved one, Lingzi Lu, and celebrating and honoring her life and the gifts and graces thereof. Our verbal and musical remembrances flow out in concentric circles of love and affection tonight. Lingzi's family is here, parents and extended family. That certainly is the most intimate and first circle of memory and care. Her friends and fellow students and colleagues form a bit broader circle, and they embrace and hold family and others. Larger still is Boston University itself, president and provost, professors, and all. But her life has drawn the interest, sympathy, and attention of larger circles as well. The city of Boston, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the people of these United States, and around the globe, here and there, women and men who are well-wishers and sympathizers and spiritual Bostonians who are with us this evening in spirit. Our community gathering tonight and our love and affection flow out with compassion in concentric circles all the way finally around the globe. Thus, tonight we do remember those in Sichuan province who recently have lost loved ones or had loved ones injured through the earthquake there. My chaplains are here tonight, Reverends Yoon and Partridge, and Olson and Gaskell, Rabbi Bayo and Father McLaughlin and Mr. Abaratzak and Brother Whitney, who will introduce each musical moment and speaker. Please turn off your cell phones and take no photos or videos. Beloved, Boston University is a caring community. Since its inception in 1839, this university has an honored history of honoring persons and personality. Today, the university's arms are long enough to embrace the whole globe, but its heart is close enough to feel with heartfelt pain the loss of one of our own. You all, each one present, are a part tonight of that heart. Your presence matters. May this service bring some quiet assurance to each one of us. Our former Dean Howard Thurman, walking at night on his beloved Daytona Beach, said, reflected, "The ocean and the night surrounded my little life with a reassurance that could not be affronted by any human behavior. The ocean at night gave me a sense of timelessness, of existing beyond the ebb and flow of circumstance. Death, I felt, would be a small thing in the sweep of that natural embrace." Tonight, well, beloved, we are gathered in just such a state, embracing each other in a natural grace. We invite for our reading Mr. Tim Leary, who is our campus minister for the InterVarsity Fellowship, to offer us a portion tonight of the Revelation to St. John. Tim.
I got to know Lingzi Lu this September, and I had lunch with her. She came with our group to New Hampshire. This picture is from that time in New Hampshire. Mr. and Mrs. Lu, we are so sorry. We will miss Lingzi. The scripture is from the last book of the Bible. It's talking about when Jesus comes back and he makes all things new. There'll be a time where there's no death, there's no tears, there's no bombs, and there's no earthquakes. We will have relationship with God through Jesus at that time, and that will be enough. We long for that time. Revelation 21 reads, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. The sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'See, the home of God is among his people. He will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. Death will be no more. Mourning and crying and pain will be no more. For the first things have passed away.' And the one who is seated on the throne said, 'I am making all things new.'" We look forward to that day.
Good evening. My name is Brother Larry Whitney. I have the privilege of serving here at Boston University as the University Chaplain for Community Life, and I have the responsibility this evening of guiding our service. We welcome now some of our musicians, Ms. Sarah Moyer from the Marsh Chapel Choral Scholar, Mr. Stephen Sagert, and Mr. Joshua Rohde from the Masters of Sacred Music program. They will be performing Pia Jesu from Requiem by Gabriel Fauré. A reading from the Analects of Confucius the Kongzi by Ms. Shuang Guo, the president of the Chinese Students and Scholars Association at Boston University, and a senior in economics in the College of Arts and Sciences.
季康子问弟子孰为好学？孔子对曰： 有颜回者好学，不幸短命死矣，今也则亡。季康子 inquired, "Which of your disciples truly loves learning?" Confucius replied, "There was one, Yan Hui, who truly loved learning. Unfortunately, he was to die young. Nowadays, there is no one." 颜渊死，子哭之痛。从者曰：“子痛矣。”曰：“有痛乎？非夫人之为痛，而谁为？” When Yan Hui died, the master grieved for him with sheer abandon. His followers cautioned, "Sir, you grieve with such abandon." The master replied, "I grieve with such abandon? If I didn't grieve with such abandon for him, then for whom?"
We are grateful this evening for the presence among us of Mr. Zhang Riming, the Deputy Consul General from the Consulate General of the People's Republic of China in New York.
The horrific bombings at Boston Marathon last week left one Chinese student killed and another seriously injured. They were both young women with a great passion for life. The top Chinese and US leaders and governments have been gravely concerned about this tragedy. President Xi Jinping and President Obama have both sent condolences to the deceased and sympathies to the injured. Today, we are gathering here with a heavy heart to remember Miss Lu Lingzi. Lingzi was the only child of an ordinary Chinese family. The horrific bombing inflicted severe harm to the Lu family and numerous other families, and once again brought home to all of us the importance of peace, security, and social harmony. It is the common and strong aspiration of both Chinese and American peoples to eradicate acts of terror and uphold social stability. Here we wish to thank the U.S. federal and local governments, Boston University and Boston Medical Center for their great efforts. Our thanks also go to people from all sectors, both in China and in U.S., who have mourned the dead, helped the injured, and care for their families. We appreciate the establishment of a scholarship and a statue at Boston University in honor of Lingzi. It will be the best way to remember her. Our hearts go out to the bereaved parents of Lingzi. Her tragic death was a tremendous loss to her family, to Boston University, and to us. Lingzi may be gone, but she will not be forgotten. May Lingzi rest in peace. 愿令子安息，愿令子的父母更加坚强。Thank you.
We have remembrances this evening from two students who knew Lingzi very well. The first is Ms. Zhang Minwei from the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences, who was a classmate of Lingzi's.
When I think about Lingzi, the first thing that comes to my mind is her smile. Her infectious smile with beautiful dimples, and she smiled so much. As a little girl, she was very outgoing, warm-hearted, optimistic, confident, and enthusiastic. She made many friends here, enjoyed their company, and brought great joy to their lives. She was a truly sweet girl and always wanted to express her gratitude for her friends. I recall that last week, after our qualifying exam, she offered to treat me to lunch as a thank you for helping her so much in preparing the exam. But the truth is, we always helped each other since we came here. And I received as much help from her as she thought she did from me. One of the things I learned from Lingzi was how to make difficult work more enjoyable. Usually, she did take notes very carefully in class, but after that, she would rewrite her notes to make them more colorful and neat. She told me that by doing this, she can do the review and keep herself in a happy mood at the same time. Another thing she taught me was how to manage the balance between life and hard work. She was a role model for leading a healthy life, in which she would go to bed early, wake up early, and be the first to arrive at class. Her life outside of school was even more colorful. I will never forget how she loved for playing piano. She attended a piano class every week, even though she was already very busy with 4 courses as a full-time student. I will never forget her passion for cooking and eating delicious foods and all desserts, such as ice cream, especially the green tea flavor. I will never forget the love she had for her puppy dog, Jingjing, back at home in China. She would always call her friends Jingjing because she missed him a lot. I used to pretend to be angry when she called me Jingjing, but now, how I wish she could call me again. I will never forget how proud she was to have a happy family, which she said was always the strongest support for her. I will never forget how much she was addicted in playing the game Candy Crush. The candies in the game are really cute, just like her. She was always positive and wished to improve herself. She was seeking internship and actively planning for events in the summer, like Restaurant Week. She was also very enthusiastic to take part in extracurricular data competition. She even told me that she wanted to thank you everyone in our research group for letting her be involved, which made her life as a graduate student more complete. For the future, her dream was very simple. She wanted a not necessarily rich, but peaceful life, with a stable job, a happy family, and a lovely dog. Dear Lingzi, thank you so much for bringing us sweetness and happiness. Your lovely stories and beautiful smiles will never fade in our hearts. We will love you and miss you forever. 亲爱的令子，谢谢你曾经带给我们那么多的美好和快乐。你动人的故事和美丽的笑容将会永远永远留在我们心中。我们爱你，想念你，希望你一切安好。We are still together with you, and we'll never be apart. We hope you rest in peace. Thank you.
Our second student speaker is Ms. Jing Li from the School of Education and Lingzi's roommate.
So I'm another Jingjing of Lingzi. I still remember the beautiful day in last spring when I was looking for a roommate in a chatting group online, and that group is full of prospective BU students. Before I asked, a message just pumped out. Is there anyone looking for a roommate? I was surprised to see that the font and color in the girl's message was exactly the same as mine. At that time, I had a feeling that you may be my perfect roommate. And that girl was you, Lingzi. And it was April the 11th, 2012. In the following days, chatting with each other became the most exciting part of our dates, since we found out that we shared so many similarities. We both from the north part of China. Our middle schools shared the same name as Yucai. We were in the same height. Both of us had a passion in piano and could play a traditional Chinese instrument, guzheng. Neither of us had lived in an off-campus apartment before, and we both didn't have a boyfriend. We believed that we were long-lost sisters and could not wait to begin our adventure in Boston. I was so grateful that I found such a lovely sister in my life. But I had no idea that this friendship could only last 1 year. Upon meeting in September, we became inseparable. We found even more similarities between us. We were both village girls, since Lingzi liked the dress full of small flowers, and I was never good at shopping. When walking together, we often sang the same song spontaneously at the same time. I remember that once I asked you the meaning of your name, Lingzi. You told me it represented wonderfulness and beauty in the ancient Chinese. Exactly. You were a wonderful and beautiful girl, as your name indicated. You were really smart and hardworking. We often complained that you had endless exams to take and I had endless papers to write. We felt sad that we were too busy to go out to meet some nice boys. You were always sweet to your friends. You went to New Hampshire together with me last fall, and I took a lot of photos for you. When we said you look so beautiful, you always smiled shyly and hugged me, saying, "That's because I had a good photographer." Sometimes you were a little bit silly in a lovely way. You did not know how to turn around the small egg cake, and I was still training you on doing that. You often burnt your breakfast and set off the fire alarm. You were afraid of the little mice in our kitchen, Jerry, and I became your brave warrior every time it made an appearance. Your sign is Leo, and mine is Cancer. Your sign ruler is Sun, and mine is Moon. We believed that we could co-fight for the beautiful future together as we combined the lights from both the sun and the moon. You indeed brought bright sunshine and sweetness to me and everyone who knew you. I am so grateful that even though our time together was much shorter than I expected to be, that time was truly special. There are a lot of things in our life that we don't understand why they happened. But we do understand that, Lingzi, you need us to be strong and brave and move forward. We will keep running to finish the race for you. And we will try to realize your unfinished dreams. We have learned to cherish every moment and every person in our life. May you rest in peace, my beautiful angel. The things that are seen are transient, but the things that are unseen are eternal. Your wonderful smile will be with us forever. With all my love, your roommate, Li Jing.
We welcome this evening to the piano Lingzi's piano teacher here at Boston University, Ms. Han-Na Sun, a doctoral candidate in the College of Fine Arts. We welcome now to the podium Professor Eric Kolachik, Director of the Program in Statistics in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics in the College of Arts and Sciences, and Lingzi's advisor.
Good evening. As the director of our program in statistics, I had the pleasure of welcoming here to BU our student, Lu Lingzi, who studied here for her MA degree. I admitted her. I recruited her to come here. We didn't want her to go elsewhere. We welcomed her upon her arrival. I helped her plan her program of study, advised her through that plan, and of course, I taught her in the classroom. I'd like to share with you tonight a few thoughts and remembrances from that perspective. We receive close to 200 applications each year for our master's program in statistics, and typically admit only a handful of the top applicants. Lingzi's application spoke of great promise, which she more than fulfilled during her time here. She came to us with an undergraduate degree in economics from the prestigious Beijing Institute of Technology. During that period, she had also done several internships with top financial firms in China. From this combined experience, she had gained a clear realization of the importance of statistics in doing financial analysis. She wished to lay a solid foundation in statistics with us here at BU, and her goal ultimately was to become a financial analyst. Our formal requirements for the MA in statistics are the completion of 8 courses and the passing of a set of qualifying exams. It doesn't sound like much, does it? But Lingzi did so much more with it. It became the loom upon which she wove the tapestry of her life here, a tapestry that was rich with the detail of all the choices that she made. Courses to take, people to befriend, and opportunities to pursue. Her studies here included work in a variety of core courses in statistical theory and methods, as well as work on probability models for financial data. She was doing very well in all aspects of her courses and had finished taking her qualifying exams just 2 days before her death. In fact, she passed those exams with flying colors, although she did not live long enough to hear the final results. Not satisfied with just the basic requirements, however, Lingzi had in addition actively sought out and become involved with statistical research as well, something that was decidedly more rare in our MA students. And if somehow all of this was not enough to keep her busy, her passion and interest extended beyond statistics. For example, she had insisted on taking a course this semester in the history of mathematics, somewhat distant from statistics, in part simply because it interested her. And she was also continuing her many years of playing piano through study in BU's College of Fine Arts. Nevertheless, all of this is merely a recounting of what she did. Let me tell you something of who she was, at least as I was able to see it. She was a lovely girl with a smile that could look both bemused and serious at the same time. Absolutely charming. She had a bubbly personality, evident even in her emails, which were often liberally punctuated with exclamation marks. She was inseparable from her close friend, Jiang Minhui. In fact, for quite some time, I was convinced that it was physically impossible to speak with just one of them in my office without the other there. She was someone who had many friends across a wide range of programs here at BU, including statistics, biostatistics, and actuarial science. And finally, she was a student that, like so many international students, struggled with, but ultimately overcame the considerable challenge of living a new life here, far from home, conducted nearly 24/7 in her second language. This is a challenge that really can only be appreciated if you've tried it yourself. Teachers have a unique sort of relationship with their students. Our role shares aspects of being a parent, but of course we weren't Lingzi's parents. Similarly, our roles include elements of friendship. But again, it's a friendship different from that of, say, a roommate or an office mate or a classmate. When best executed, as I know all my colleagues aim to do for each student that crosses our paths, our role involves a delicate combination of challenging and encouraging, of admonishing and supporting, of querying and answering, of pushing and sometimes pulling. To a teacher, with the loss of a student like Lingzi, particularly in such a tragic manner, there comes a unique and indescribable sense of emptiness. Thinking about what she could have done with the future for which she worked so hard to prepare, but now will not do. I believe that I speak for all of my colleagues when I say that I fervently hope, with the scholarship established in her name, that Lingzi's potential will instead be fulfilled in many others for years to come. Thank you.
We welcome back Mr. Joshua Rohde of the Master of Sacred Music program to perform the Sarabande from the First Cello Suite of Johann Sebastian Bach. We welcome to the podium the 10th president of Boston University, Dr. Robert A. Brown.
Dear friends, in the last several turbulent days in Boston, we have heard many poignant, heartbreaking stories. Because of our proximity to the Boston Marathon route, many members of our community and families were at or near the finish line. So we have heard stories in which the difference between terrible loss and immense relief can be measured in mere feet or meters and seconds. Heartbreakingly, our graduate student, Lu Lingzi, the beloved daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Lu, who are here with us tonight, lost her life at the finish line. Tonight, as we struggle to understand the terrible attack that claimed Lingzi's bright young life, we gather to mourn the great loss and to offer such comfort as we can to her parents, relatives, and friends. In the days after we first learned of Lingzi's death, we have learned about her. We know she liked blueberry pancakes and the violinist Isaac Perlman. We know that she had just passed the first part of her comprehensive examination in statistics with a strong score. And we know that she and fellow students had just Monday morning submitted a research project in the nick of time, and that she headed out to watch the marathon as a way of celebrating. She was full of life and full of promise. As we mourn her loss, we also celebrate Lingzi's life, and we especially celebrate the love and devotion of her parents, who endowed her with the intelligence, diligence, and enthusiasm that allowed her to prosper in her academic work and to embrace life here with exuberance and optimism. We know that a memorial service cannot bring closure to the grief that parents who lose a child must endure. Nothing can be as it was before. The grief is too immense. We hope tonight, in our words and prayers, to show our understanding of the magnitude of the grief. We hope also to assure Lingzi's family that she was very much a cherished member of our community here in Boston. While she was far from her home, she enjoyed good friends, good times, and was a strong member of our student body and the Boston University community. Our community mourns with you tonight. I want to thank Governor Deval Patrick and Lieutenant Governor Timothy Murray for being with us tonight to show their compassion for the loss of Lu Lingzi and their support of the Boston University community. I also want to thank Governor Patrick for all he and other state and local officials did to keep us safe last week and to bring to justice to Lingzi and the other victims of these horrific accidents. Our astronomers tell us that when a star dies, something out there in the universe, somewhere out there in the universe, its light continues to travel across time to reach us. One way in which the light of Lingzi's life will continue to shine is in the scholarship in her name, which the trustees of Boston University approved and endowed at their meeting last Friday. This scholarship, because it is endowed, will provide opportunities for future generations of students in perpetuity. Lingzi will abide in our thoughts and prayers. We are grateful to have had the privilege of having her as a Boston University student.
We have two gifts to present this evening to the Lu family and particularly to Lingzi's parents. To present the first on behalf of the Chinese Students and Scholars Association, I introduce Ms. Shuang Guo, the president, and a College of Arts and Sciences senior, Mr. Haisu Yuan, the vice president and a College of Communications junior, and Ms. Yi Wang, a School of Management junior and the secretary of the Chinese Students and Scholars Association.
We are here to present a collection of signatures we collected from all BU community to show the family of our fellow students' support and how we'll remember Lingzi, of how beautiful as a person she was and how much she had to offer.
Our second presentation this evening is from the Mathematics and Statistics Department, and particularly those involved in Lingzi's final project. I invite to the podium Dr. Luis Carvalho of the Mathematics and Statistics Department and 4 students who worked with Lingzi on our final project, Mr. Hunter Glanz, Mr. Ian Johnston, Ms. Peng Li Jun, and Ms. Jiang Min Wei.
Lixin and a team of students in our department worked on preparing and submitting a poster for a data analysis competition celebrating the International Year of Statistics. This competition is to be held this summer in Seoul, Korea, in a very prestigious international conference. Lixin was essential, and her work in the group was remarkable. Her level of commitment was such that even taking 4 courses, preparing for 2 qualifying exams, grading, and many other activities, she could dedicate and meet with her friends for this research work twice every week, given all this work. She will be greatly missed.
Our next set of addresses are from Lingzi's family. I invite to the podium Meng Jiong, Lingzi's cousin.
All friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to my cousin Lingzi's memorial ceremony. Today we come together to remember my cousin Lingzi. I had many memories of her. She is a bright, happy, and joyful girl. We grew up together, and we also arrived to America together. We remembered, I remember she cooked for me when I visited her. And she often took me to do different things, like eating, shopping. She had a love for food every time she came to our aunt's house. And the food my uncle cooked was very special. She would always say, "Oh, this is so delicious. Life is wonderful." And my cousin has a tremendous influence on me when I grew up. She always encouraged me to study harder and do my best in school, just like her. She always supported and helped me academically. My cousin was really funny. We had a little puppy called Dudu. She loved him so much, and when she missed her, she would always call me as Dudu to joke around with me, and she often called her dad like Jingjing, because their family loved the puppy so much. My dear cousin, I'm saying goodbye to you today, but you will always be in my heart. I love you so much. You will never be forgotten. Your beautiful smile and joyful laughters will always be remembered and missed. I will always remember that day, that moment, that beautiful girl. Thank you.
I invite to the piano Lingzi's cousin Vanna, who will play Camille Saint-Saëns' The Swan from the Carnival of the Animals. To deliver Lingzi's eulogy, we welcome to the podium this evening Mr. Lu Jun, her father.
尊敬的老师、各位同学们、女士们、先生们，首先，我代表吕令子的全家，感谢大家来参加我女儿的追悼会，感谢波士顿大学及相关人员对我们的接待和对这次追悼会细致周到的组织安排。同时，还要衷心感谢几天前积极寻找吕令子、给予我们家庭莫大帮助的令子的老师和同学们，谢谢你们。下面谨以此文告慰我亲爱的女儿的在天之灵。吕令子1989年8月17日生于中国辽宁省沈阳市，一个中国最普通的家庭，祖孙3代住在一起，家庭亲情浓郁，幸福美满。令子从小就是一个聪慧、善良、招人喜爱的小女孩，是我们祖辈4代大家庭中的开心果、小精灵。她从小就开始学习钢琴、书法、舞蹈，当小主持人，学什么像什么，对各方面都有浓厚的兴趣，天真浪漫，性格非常开朗活泼，爱讲话，会说话，无论是亲属还是我们的家同事、邻里邻居，他都能谈得来，没有人不喜欢他。我们经常带他到我们的家庭聚会上，他自告奋勇为大家表演弹琴、唱歌、跳舞。在他外祖婆的90大寿上，外公的70、80大寿上，奶奶姥姥的寿辰上，都是由令子献上情深意切的祝词。他的爱心、甜美的声音和灿烂的笑容，永远萦绕在我的脑海心中。令子上学以后，表现出极强的勤奋、自立自强的精神，学习成绩从小到大一直很优秀。小学毕业时，他以全校第5名的成绩，考上了辽宁省最好的中学育才中学。在高手如云的育才学子中，他又以全班第3名的成绩考入了北京理工大学。他的人生目标规划得很早，总想到国际上去见见世面，成为自强自立的知识女性。目标明确坚定，因此在大学时他更加勤奋，每年都赢得学校的奖学金。除了学校的课程，积极参加各种社会活动、社会实践，当志愿者，到德勤、银行、证券公司去实习，千方百计、想方设法去了解国际大学的招生信息。在大学期间，他忙得不亦乐乎。我们作为父母一点都帮不上他，全凭他自己的打拼精神。为实现心中的理想，他付出了太多的努力和艰辛。当得知被美丽的波士顿大学录取时，他欣喜万分。这既是上天的眷顾，也是他应得的。我们全家都为他自豪。学习之余，令子是一个非常热爱生活、爱美、追求幸福人生的女孩。在她初中时期，就考过了钢琴8级。她喜爱并懂得鉴赏音乐，家里有大量的中外大师的音乐光盘。出国前，令子特意交代家里要收好这些光盘，这些都是他多年的珍藏。他回来还要听，学完钢琴，他还要学习中国传统乐器古筝。他觉得弹古筝很美，他爱美，所以要学。令子爱美，喜欢时尚、漂亮，但令子更爱美食，自称是美食家，过口不忘。小时候就曾想当一名面点师、面包师。当然，令子更是一个性情女孩，面对未来充满憧憬，常年紧张的学习，难免有累了、苦了的感觉。她经常抱怨撒娇，不想再打拼了。放假在家时，她经常足不出户地捧着小说看，沉浸陶醉在一篇篇美丽的爱情故事里。女儿令子的事，我几天几夜也讲不完。几天以来，我们全家每个人一举手一投足，脑海中映现的无不是令子音容笑貌、生活的点点滴滴。 呜呼哀哉，逝者已逝，生命何堪？斯言已逝，忧思永存。中国有句古话，每个孩子都是帮助父母成长的小菩萨。尽管我们教育了吕令子，但当今天在回想吕令子24岁短暂的人生时，我们做父母的却不由得佩服女儿的善良，对人生的奋进，对美好生活的执着。女儿，你是好样的，父母以你为自豪、骄傲。就在我们来前，国内您的老师、您的同学，还有素不相识的网友，他们自发地来到您的家乡沈阳中街的广场，点燃蜡烛，举行悼念您的活动。您小学的班主任写道：“希望您的天堂还像精灵一样快乐。”最后，我想引用4月18日孩子的家乡《沈阳晚报》写的一首诗，来告慰吕令子以及所有在这次事件中遇难和受伤的人。漂亮的沈阳女孩，你是爸妈的骄傲，你是育才的学子。昨夜，您的故乡沈阳为您点燃长明的蜡烛，照亮您天堂的道路。爱迷路的你不再会迷路，这路上不再有炸弹，不再有恐怖袭击。我们会饱含热泪替年田里的你说一句：亲爱的妈妈、爸爸，别哭，我爱你们。如果再有来生，我还做您的女儿。愿逝者安息，生者坚强。谢谢这个诗的作者，再次感谢所有在令子成长道路上给予他关怀、爱护的师长、同学、朋友们，谢谢你们。祝吕令子一路走好，谢谢。
For a translation of the eulogy into English, we are grateful this evening for the voice of Mr. Willis Wong, our Vice President and Associate Provost for Global Programs.
Respected faculty members, classmates, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of our whole family, I would like to thank you all for coming to attend my daughter's memorial service. Our thanks go to Boston University, Chinese and American consulates, and other people who are involved for your kindness, hospitality, and careful and meticulous organization and arrangement for this service. I also would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Lingzi's classmates, professors, who over the past few days made every effort to look for her and provided my family with tremendous help and assistance. Thank you so very, very much. Now I would like to make the following statement to comfort the heavenly soul of my beloved daughter. Lu Lingzi was born on August 17, 1989, in Shenyang, Liaoning Province, China, into a very ordinary family, where 3 generations lived together in an incredibly close-knit and extremely happy environment. As a little girl, Lingzi demonstrated her intelligence, kindness, and attractiveness. She was the family's Shirley Temple, if you will, the little elf and the little jolly girl, bringing everybody in the family ceaseless laughter, lightheartedness, and fun. She took piano lessons, practiced calligraphy, danced, and even acted as a show hostess. Whatever she set her mind to, she would do a great job. Her interests were very diverse. She was naturally open-hearted, energetic, verbal, and communicative. Everyone around her, whether it was a relative, family, friends, or neighbors, old and young, she would, without exception, develop meaningful relationships and make them happy. We could take Lingzi anywhere. She often would join us at parties and company events. At a very young age, Lingzi was never shy. She was full of confidence on the stage, playing the piano and dancing. At home, in family reunions, she would offer to perform tongue twisters, piano pieces, and sing songs. At her maternal great-grandmother's 90th birthday party, her grandfather's 70th and 80th birthday parties, and my parents' birthday parties, she would, on behalf of the whole family, give congratulatory speeches and offer best wishes. Her compassion, sweet voice, and beautiful smiles will forever stay in my heart and mind. After she entered the elementary school, Lingzi worked extremely hard, always challenged herself, and set high standards. Academically, she had been outstanding all those years. When she graduated from the elementary school, she placed 5th in the entire class, entering Northeast Yucai Middle School, the best of the city. When the time came for the national entrance examinations, again she performed well, ranking 3rd among the whole class of extremely competent students in a highly competitive process, and she was accepted by the Beijing Technological University. She set her life and career goals early on, determined to go abroad to see the world and become an independent and well-educated woman. She knew what she needed and never wavered in pursuing them. At college, if anything, she worked even more diligently and as a result, winning school scholarships every year. Besides required courses, she particularly worked hard on her English, getting up very early in the morning and staying up late to study. She was also actively involved in different community programs, social activities, and volunteered extensively. She participated in internships at Deloitte Consulting, at banks, and at securities firms. Lingzi used every opportunity and made every effort to learn about international college acceptance requirements. In college, she was extremely busy, independently working on her goals without much help from us. To make her dreams come true, she was relentless and spared no effort. When learning the wonderful news that she was accepted by this beautiful Boston University, she was thrilled and ecstatic. It was God-given and well-deserved. We were all so happy for her and proud of her. During her spare time, Lingzi showed another aspect of her personality. She yearned for life, loved beauty, and pursued happiness. While in middle school, she impressed all of us by successfully passing the toughest 8th grade piano test. She had a great passion and a tremendous taste for music, possessing a large collection of music CDs by Chinese and international masters. Before she left for America, she asked us to take good care of them, her invaluable treasures over the years, and told us that she would come back to enjoy them later on. After piano lessons, she wanted to do more, on various occasions expressing interest in guzheng, an ancient Chinese string instrument. Even after we told her that this instrument was not practical, the lessons were too expensive, and asked her to reconsider, she was not persuaded. She continued her interest because she believed the instrument was beautiful. She was passionate about beautiful things, and she was determined to learn how to play it. Lingzi loved all things beautiful. Yet she loved eating delicious food even more. A self-proclaimed connoisseur, remembering every food she had ever tried, she used to dream of becoming a dough master or a bread maker. Lingzi, like other girls of her age, was sentimental and had high hopes for her future. Years of hard work and busy study schedules occasionally took a toll on her energy level and made her feel exhausted. Sometimes she would speak out, saying she was ready to call it quits and just find a good man to marry. During school breaks, she would indulge in romance novels and love stories. I can keep talking about my daughter's stories for days and nights. During the past several days, everyone in the family, no matter what they were doing or where they were, could not help seeing Lingzi's smiles, replaying her life stories in our minds. Alas, she is gone. How can our living move on? She is gone, but our memories of her are very much alive. An ancient Chinese saying says, every child is actually a little Buddha that helps their parents mature and grow up. Even though we brought up Lingzi, and yet today, while reflecting on her short 24-year life, we as parents admire and appreciate her kindness, courage, and her yearning for a beautiful life. Lingzi, you are simply the best. Just shortly before we came here, your former teachers, classmates, as well as strangers, on the website back at home, all spontaneously gathered in the Shenyang Central Square one evening. They lit candles and held a ceremony in your memory. Your elementary homeschool teacher wrote, "May you remain as jolly as a little elf in the heavenly garden." Before I finish, I would like to quote a poem published in the Shenyang Evening News on April 18, to console Lingzi and all those who perished and were wounded in the attack. You're a beautiful girl from Shenyang. the pride of your parents. In honor of Yucai, last night, Sheongyang, your hometown, lit you an everlasting candle, lighting up your path to heaven so that you won't lose your way anymore. There will be no bombs or terrorist attacks in its path. In tears, we hear you say, the forever young, "Dear Dad and Mom, don't cry. I love you. If there is an afterlife, I will be your daughter again. May the parish rest in peace and the survivors be strong." Our eternal thanks to the poet. We owe a tremendous sense of gratitude to all the teachers, professors, and classmates who have loved and cared for Lingzi in her life. Thank you. Smooth journey, Lingzi. Thank you.
On behalf of the Lu family and the entire Boston University community, we are grateful for your presence here this evening as a sign of support and an offering of strength to move forward. Following the service, there is a reception in the small ballroom to your left. Be welcome. Dearly beloved, as we are gathered this evening, we are reminded that life is short, and we do not have too much time to gladden the hearts of those who walk the way with us. So we should be swift to love, and make haste to be kind. Go in peace. Amen.